Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be a match between Bishop and Bisu here on Fighting Spirit. Top left-hand corner is the White Protoss player. It is Bisu going under his Smurf name NA first. And in the bottom right-hand corner is the Purple Terran player Bishop going by his Smurf name Ha. Bishop used to play for team name B Barras. Okay, so BBARAS. I'm not entirely sure how to say that, but he's Korean. He is 24 years old currently, so I'm not entirely sure when this was played, but maybe it was when he was very, very young. Got this off of TeamLiquid.net. One of the forum posts have a lot of, or has a lot of great replays in there from a while ago. Never been cast in the remastered client. All right, so a PvT featuring Bisu on Fighting Spirit. Bisu fans, rejoice! For your hero is here once again. Thank you to everybody who has signed up for Falcon.com, good grief, Patreon.com/Falcon Paladin, even for just $1 a month. That gives you access to one more Brood War cast every single week. Last week, you got a bonus. Did you notice that? I believe it was involving White Raw and Light is what that was from. So if you're a White Raw fan or a Light fan, or you just like extra Brood War, seriously, $1 a month, you guys. That's like 3 cents a day. I don't even know how else to express how easy it is for you to gain access to those extra casts per week. But anyway, I've also started streaming out on YouTube.com, where you are now. Kind of started just casting user replays, honestly, at this point out there. I figured that's kind of a fun time. People can show up, see what other people are doing in Brood War. I don't really cast any lobby matches for Brood War at this point, so figured maybe I'd kind of get my feet wet just by doing it on YouTube and see what the response is there in like a live streaming type of a format. So we'll check it out. Let me know what you think about that. The previous casts are available, obviously, just in the feed here. Anyways, anything happening here? Not so much. We're just one base in it from Bisu. Went gateway into a cybernetics core, into an assimilator. One Rax on the low ground here at a Bishop. He's going to throw up a bunker at some point. We're going to see Singularity Charge coming down now, too. It looks very much like a very standard PvT opening, as cross-spawn positions means that Bisu's going to scout the wrong direction, or it's the right direction. I don't think he can spawn the wrong direction right now, unless he starts scouting the cross position immediately, which would be absolutely insane. So Supply Depot here, too, is walling off, interestingly enough, perhaps worried about Zealot harassment. This is kind of what you do against Zerg, right? You make the Lings go around the outside, and put a bunker in here. It's really good against Zergling, but pretty darn good against Zealot, too. Anything that's melee, it's going to be cool with. There's your Singularity Charge starting at under 3 minutes. Bisu is on point right now. And I was thinking about it. Is that NA first name kind of like an inside joke kind of a deal? Oh, that probe not allowed to scout. There's already a Marine out. Can't check to see if there's expansion coming up or what. You got to know there's a bunker, though. But anyway, NA first. Is that like I'm the best player on the NA server? Is that kind of just a chuckle, I'm way better than everybody in North America, which entirely possible. I think Bisu is better than everybody who's ever played Brood War in the entire continent of North America. I could be wrong about that, but it just does seem like Korea puts out the best players. I actually read a really interesting Reddit thread the other day as this here SCV getting shoved away by a Dragoon. You know what? This is actually buying time. Buying time back home for Bishop to where he doesn't have to worry about Dragoon harass for some time. Very interesting stuff. I mean, the SCV is not going to get up here and get any scouting off. He does not. He knows there's nothing at the wall. There's nothing at the expansion either. So it's a one-base opener from Bisu, but happily on 2 bases is our Terran. Anyway, I just talked about the incredible stress that Korean kids are under. There's this one test they take when they're, 16 years old, and it pretty much determines their future prospects, what kind of jobs they can apply for, what colleges they can go to. Like, if you do not do well on this, it is a really, really hard thing to come back from. And it just made me feel like, all right, well, I mean, I guess I can see how that culture would fit in here with esports, right? Where StarCraft professionals, as Singularity Charge kicks up here, using the barracks to get, I was going to say some additional vision, but Singularity Charge, there we go, finds the exact pixel at which he can be here, forcing some SCVs off, make this happen. Why is he juggling? What the? Is he doing a trick? He is taking Dragoon shots and then going inside the bunker before they actually hit. Holy smokes, this is amazing. out of Bishop. I have never seen this trick before. Maybe it's because it's not worth it. I'd assume Flash would do it if it was worth it. I mean, he's taking some hits here, right? His Marines are not coming out of this thing squeaky clean 100% health, but he can get that back if he wants to make some medics, I suppose. Is Bisu double expanding behind this? Good golly, he is. Taking a natural and a third base behind this. Absolutely insane. Siege mode on the way. Tanks on the way here. This is absolutely not going to work at all for Bisu. He's going to get no kills, but he does get some lost mining time for the opponent's SCVs and some minerals on the repair front there too. So, I don't know. It's an opening. It's a very common opening here. We see it quite a bit in the PvT world. And if you're Protoss, you should probably just do this too, man. One base it, make a handful of Dragoons here, get Singularity Charge, and then show up and try to get stuff done. If your opponent doesn't have a bunker, you're in a world of hurt. Tank sets up in siege mode, and bam, it is time to go. It is time to get out of here. Tanks with siege mode absolutely crush this, especially on the high ground where the Dragoons don't have anything to give them vision of that high ground. That tank is very, very hard to take down. Anyway, trying to see if there's a third base coming up. Bisu has a pylon down here at third base location, but nothing, no real sign. Well, I guess now just starting a command center here. Might lift it over there eventually, but happily just about on 3 bases. Look at that timing. Just beautiful, beautiful stuff here from Bisu. What else do we expect from this Protoss player, though, other than beautiful, beautiful timings as the Nexus comes in? Dragoons ready to rock here, and Dragoons are going to be a big part of the army here versus, obviously, the mech compositions of the Terran. Bio is just not good versus Protoss because Storm is a thing, and Storm chews through Bio like you would not believe. You think Storm is really good against Zerg? It is better against Terran, I think. Just Marines, Firebats, and Medics get absolutely chewed up by Psionic Storm, even more than Hydralisks do. Spider Mines already done, and getting tossed down in random places where I will think there is army for Bishop, and there is not. Like, for the rest of the game, though, I'm going to be like, there's an army coming up this way. Nope, they're just Spider Mines. It's very, very frustrating. Again, I kind of wish that the setup here on the minimap actually showed smaller dots if they were not, you know, actual units and just Spider Mines instead. Either way, we got some Vulture harass here, doing pretty well. Wow, Probe's actually helping take down that Vulture. That was pretty good stuff. Vultures getting cleaned up. Spider Mines inside the natural base area get cleaned up there too. There's one Spider Man left on this ramp up to the third, but I don't think it's going to be able to do much unless this Dragoon decides to move out on his own, which seems like he's pretty happy to stay just outside of the range of that Spider Mine. I'm pretty sure Bisu saw that go down. Observer at the front door, and an observer inside the main base of Bishop. That is problematic. You cannot let your opponent see exactly what you're doing. Although, what's the surprise here? Let's be honest. It's a lot of factories. It's a lot of machine shops. Dragoons are pushing on out right now, trying to see what they can do. Trying to see if Bishop maybe skipped some units here to go for the expansion. Yeah, I mean, the Dragoons are so very, very good against the Vultures and the Spider-Mines. And if there aren't enough tanks, they're actually pretty good against tanks, too. If they outnumber them like a 4 to 5 to 1 type scenario, as they do right now. Can you take down that tank is the question. I believe you can, but you have to use the Observer to scout the high ground, and there's a turret down here. Great positioning from Bishop in that situation. Where's your third base? There's the liftoff, and there's the move over. And some tanks defending with some muckers here, too. So Bishop has managed to stay alive for quite some time. Hasn't really taken much damage whatsoever. That scouting barracks might not get much scouting done, as it is taking serious hits from these Dragoons. They don't have attack upgrades yet, but I don't know that it really matters. Yeah, get out of here. Once again, the tanks shoving away the Dragoons. Get out of our neighborhood, they say. Templar Archives in production from Bisu. Interestingly enough, actually, you know, no, it's fine. Storm is really good against Terran. We've seen some really good PvTs recently where the Protoss makes good use of Storm against the Goliaths that we're going to see eventually here and the tanks. And it's really quite good. I mean, they're just good against stationary targets in general because anything that can't move away will take the full force of that Psionic Storm. And it's really no joke. So we've seen players do very well against tanks, especially if the tanks are unsieged. Well, I don't know. Even if they're sieged, if you have enough buffering stuff there. Anyway, is that a 4th base? Dang it, Bisu. Bisu getting a 4th base down this left side. This is another way you could beat Terran, is just by basically out-macroing them, recognizing it takes some time for a big, scary death ball of mech to be made. And you have some time where you can really just kind of do whatever you want, expansion-wise and pro-count-wise, as long as you deal with Vultures by blocking off ramps and having enough Dragoons to deal with counterattacks. So far, so good, I'd say, out of Bisu. I mean, Bishop is no slouch either. APM around 225. throughout this game, sitting here at the moment anyway. It doesn't really give us an average, but it is a current APM count. Probe scouting on down. Are you going to go for another base? That would be absolutely insane. Holy crap, he is. He's going for a 5th base. Ladies and gentlemen. Are you? I mean, yeah, I guess throwing up a pylon here indicates he is claiming this territory for Bisu. Storm on the way. There we go. High Templar in production, getting a couple shuttles, or rather one shuttle and an arbiter. Air weapons level 1 indicates we're going to see a carrier transition here. I know that's your arbiter, and there's your orbital tribunal, but some... I don't know. Is the +1 attack for the Archon? That just seems like a waste of an upgrade for Archons, whose DPS is pretty horrific anyway. They're not often shooting at things regardless. There we go. Get rid of those spider mines. Help Falcon do better with his watching the minimap type situation. This Vulture sitting back here does have a kill and is denying the gas on this 4th base that Bisu has set up. So Bishop's aware of this. Also, oh, okay, careful about this. These Dragoons doing some pretty good target firing and moving, recognizing the threat that the spider mines are. Does start manage to pick off some of these guys, but man, spider mines are absolutely exploding, killing some of the Vultures there too, as well as a couple Dragoons. I don't know if that was a good trade necessarily for Bishop. That was a really good spider mine. Took down 3 Dragoons at once. That is extremely cost efficient. Stasis? Nope, that's recall. Recall on the way, and there is your fleet beacon. Okay, so we're definitely going to start seeing a carrier transition here after a couple arbiters are made. That's our 5th base, man. Bisu is killing it. It's a 3-base Terran versus a 5-basing Protoss right now. Not where you want to be if you are Bishop. Not at all. Apparently, he is still pretty active. Bishop is. I'm reading his Liquipedia page a little bit more here. Participating in SBENU super fights, which sounds pretty cool. Already got the Goliath production here, working on EMP2 for the science vessels. I do love EMP versus Protoss. It removes all of their shields. These Vultures are trying to come down and get some harassment done in the bottom left-hand corner, but they kind of met up with a ton of Dragoons, and as a result, they're going to head a different direction instead here. They're just so dang fast. Vultures with speed are the fastest units in the game, which makes sense. I mean, they're on motorcycles. Motorcycles are incredibly fast units. Throwing down spider mines everywhere, getting some decent hits off there, but not connecting on every single one of them, unfortunately. Charon boosters on the way now for the Goliaths. Science vessels in production. 168 to 127 supply. Bisu has a big-time army lead, just general supply lead over his Terran opponent. But tanks are a problem. Tanks are the great equalizer here, where if you try to attack into a bunch of siege tanks, you're gonna have a bad time, which is why you start making things like carriers. Although, is there in fact, are there carriers on the way? Nah, man, is it really just the one Stargate? Maybe he wants to transition to it later, but not right now. He would definitely need more Stargates for that and actually need to start making, okay, there we go, another Stargate on the way, and actually start making carriers. Anyway, right side base, 4th base under construction for Bishop now. He's also looks like he's trying to set up in the top right-hand corner, taking his side of the map now that Bisu has definitely thrown down a claim on his side of the map, being the left side, or the west side, depending on what you're looking at here. Did you know that there's Falcon Paladin merch, you guys? Search Falcon Paladin and Shopify in your Google machine, and you can find Falcon Paladin stuff, including mugs and hats, and shirts, and hoodies, and all sorts of great stuff. Pillows, if you're interested in that kind of a thing. All proceeds do go, as a recall is happening here, to support the channel as well as the podcast. Alright, so Dragoons are here. They are ready to rock. They got +1 attack, but +2 is done for these mech units, and I don't know these Dragoons are going to get a whole lot done here. Great storming on the Goliaths, though. Nom 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 nom. Beautifully done there. You know what? The Dragoons are still alive, so this is not good. This is really not good for Bishop. This recall is fantastic. As usual, you do not want to engage directly with the Terran army, with your Protoss army, really no matter what it is. You want to move around the edges, force them to respond to you. So you can deny an upgrade here. Nope, there's no upgrade on the way on that armory, but it doesn't matter. Can't kill the armory anyway. And it wasn't working on that. Okay, so now carriers on the way, and carrier interceptor capacity on the way. Really, if you're making carriers and you don't get that upgrade, what are you doing? You should always get that upgrade started as soon as you can. Dark Templar coming in here too. I don't know if that's going to be for Dark Archons, but we have had a pretty good streak of Dark Archon stuff recently on the channel. Not really a streak per se, but just a good setup where we have seen a lot of Archons. It's been fun. It's been really fun. I love Love Dark Archons a whole bunch. What are you doing up here? Bisu's trying to take this top right-hand corner for himself, but no, say the vultures. We can kill cannons, especially if they're just warping in. That does not bother us at all. Boy, it takes them forever to kill buildings if they're not warping in. Look how long it's taken for them to take down this pylon. With +2 attack as well here. I know it's explosive damage and not so good against buildings, but still. Sheesh. Alright, so the pylon does go down. Some spider mines in a weird place, not necessarily going to cause problems there for the marauding and running around Protoss army. But yeah, holding this high ground. This is where we live, scrub. I don't know that he would ever call Bisu a scrub, even under his breath. I just feel like that's an incredibly poor characterization of who Bisu is as a player, because he's insanely good. But yeah, I mean, good luck holding the top of this ramp, guys. This is Sparta indeed, and everyone's gonna die. Yeah, so this top right-hand base is not gonna be taken. Oh, hang on. Free kill. Ah, free Dragoon. It's one spider mine set up over here, and the Dragoon was not on an attack move. That's funny stuff. That's really funny stuff. 196 to 173 supply. So, I mean, the problem for Bishop here is he's kind of let Bisu do whatever he wants for the most of the part in this game. He's expanded wherever he's wanted to. The Vulture Harass hasn't been that great, especially for the last couple of minutes here. It's been very defensive play here out of Bishop, but he has all of the tanks in the known universe here. He has so many tanks. Got that +2 attack. They're not working on further upgrades, which seems like it's going to be a problem. Where is the carrier group? Here we are. Carrier has arrived. 4 of them here, another one on the way. Just producing interceptors 4 at a time, because there are 4 carriers. It makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I just don't know that this Dragoon army can do much. Nice stasis. A bit of a whiff of a storm there from Bisu. And Observer does manage to stay alive with, oh my gosh, 1 hit point there. Zealots coming on and to try to deal with this, but there's enough Goliaths and Vultures to actually wipe those guys out, and then there is no more buffer for the Dragoons, and they're forced to flee on out of there. Big old probe transfer down the left side. Really unescorted, but it doesn't matter because Bishop is really focusing on engagements on the right side here. More storm going down on these Goliaths. A lot of good storms there. Trying to get shots off on the Arbiters and get rid of that. There we go. Arbiter does go down here. 154 to 160 supply. Bishop has actually managed to swing it in his favor. The problem is, how prepared is he for carriers? I really don't see that many Goliaths in this army composition right now. He has to know what's going on. He has to think to himself, why is there not a lot of ground army for Bisu? The answer is because it's Sky Toss time, suckers! Natural base is being attacked right now. What? You guys need to go somewhere. This siege getting set up by Bishop is fairly impressive, but here come the carriers, and you're all in big trouble. Yeah, I mean, there's like 2 Goliaths here. Goodbye. Goodbye, friends. He's making vultures back home. No, Bisu. You can't make No, Bishop. Bishop, you can't make vultures back home. Bisu, just keep doing what you're doing, man. You're great. All the tanks are basically fleeing right now. We're going to kill as many bases as we can before we're made obsolete by the fact that these carriers exist. Attacking down the south side. Now, what you can do is the carrier group is very slow. No, get up the ramp. Pathing is hard. I know. Oh, the carriers are going to destroy all of you. The tanks are going to try to wipe out this nexus before they get wiped out themselves. And maybe one more volley, possibly? No, too many tanks have gone down. Meanwhile, tanks and Vulture trying to get up this ramp. Nice scan of the Dark Templar to wipe him out. All of these cannons are gone here, too. This is some pretty good PvT action right now. Bishop is doing some serious work. He's making 9 Goliaths at a time. He's recognized his mistake. Vultures? No. Why did I make Vultures? Well, we need our Goliaths here. That said, I mean, there are a decent number of Dark Templar here. Where are your scans? Where are your science vessels? Oh, the carriers come down to defend the 5th base down on the left side, and they do a fantastic job just wiping out this ground army entirely here. All right, so fair enough indeed. The positioning here by Bisu has been great. He has so many carriers and is making 3 more. Also working on Kadaran Amulet, increasing the potential energy of High Templar by a whole bunch there. All right, so, wow, Bisu's expanded to the top right, too. This is his home as well. Bishop is in trouble. Bishop needs to handle this carrier group with some, like, EMPs and a whole bunch of Goliath strikes. now. Now here's the thing. The carriers need to avoid getting hit in the body, which means they need to be over places where the Goliaths can't do that. And if you just keep running, that generally works out pretty good too. The Goliaths are not very fast. They can't keep up with the carriers that well. Oh, especially if there are Dragoons helping out too. See the overkill, the overkill. Oh, the control here by Bisu though. He's not allowing all of the interceptors to fire on one Goliath, therefore preventing the overkill. Yeah, this is bad. This is really bad for Bishop right now. He is completely out-macroed, completely out-armied. He is working on +3 attack for his tanks and Goliaths and stuff, but I just don't see enough here to really keep him alive for much longer. The carrier transition seems to have caught Bishop by surprise. He just did not have the Goliath count necessary to handle it. He's going to lose his third base down here really without issue. This makes me feel like I'm playing the Brood War campaign where I'm Protoss, and it's just like mass carriers for the win no matter what you're going up against, because that's how this works. EMP! All right. EMP not bad. That's actually kind of insanely good there. Look at that stacking by Bisu. That is some disgustingly hot stacking on those carriers, but it means the EMPs are amazing because the EMP range isn't that big, but if all your units are together, EMP is fantastic. Replacing the third base, Bishop is doing what he can right now, but he's down 200 and 159 supply. High Templar, Dragoons have +2/+1. +2 shields is on the way here. Again, sharing the upgrades, at least the shield upgrade between the air stuff and the ground stuff is really nice at this stage of the game. And yeah, now the fourth base is under attack, and there's, again, not much here to stop this. This is just carrier porn right now for those Protoss fans out there. This is so many carriers. Great storms going down on a bunch of those Goliaths. Goliath count not doing well here. The chaos. The chaos that controls my mind. That was amazing. Still fighting. The Goliaths are still fighting here, but there are so many carriers in this group right now. There are 10 of them. They are ready to rock. They will destroy you. Do any of them have... I can't tell what upgrades they have, but I assume it's at least +2 right now. Ooh, that was one. There we go. Ah, +3. +3 is done. So the Goliaths did chase the carriers off on their attempt to do something here about the fourth base, but there are just not enough Goliaths at all. The Arbiter gets taken down, but it doesn't matter. Even if you can see these carriers, you're just outnumbered about 47,000 to 1 right there. Interceptor count is insane. Bisu has bases. He's not even mining from because he doesn't need to right now. He doesn't want to make so many probes that he can't actually make an armory. So yeah, he's making scouts. Holy crap! Holy cannoli! Scouts in production right now. All right, that's an interesting play there for sure. Yeah, I mean, Bishop's done. The scouts aren't necessarily like game changers in any possible way here. I guess maybe they're to chase down. Well, they're not even that fast, but what up, scouts? You guys are hilarious. I cannot believe they're here. Are they going to see any action at all before Bisu just wins this game? I am not convinced at all that they will not. Or that they will. Or that they will not. I don't know. I'm double negativing myself into confusion here. Is he getting... Oh my gosh, scout movement! Alright, well there's the GG. Bishop taps out. And I guess we found our situation where a Protoss player will actually get scouts and get the speed upgrade. It's when they are winning handily. And they're just making the scouts for funsies, it really seems like. I mean, these guys, serious. Look at this. Look how serious these guys are. Antimatter missiles. 34 damage. Wha-bam! They hit so hard. They're so good against things like carriers and battle cruisers and science vessels, I guess. If there were any. I'm not sure the Bishop technically has any of those. So much of this purple is just spider mines down here, guys. Yeah. I really think this came down to the fact that Bishop did not scout the presence of the fleet beacon or the multiple stargates here. Didn't know the carriers were being produced. Took too long to get onto Goliaths. And Bisu just knows how to handle this matchup for sure. He had the Storm, he had the Dragoon count, he had the carrier count. These guys, 11 kills on that one, 12 kills, 11 kills. I mean, definitely paying for themselves here. 7 kills on that one as well. High Templar has 2 kills on it. And just overall, really efficient stuff there from Bisu. Let's check out that final score. It is going to be 215,000 points, 152,000 points. I mean, Bisu just wrecking there. Overall, did produce about 370 units. Pretty even compared to the Terran opponent here, but a lot of those were carriers that were incredibly cost efficient. Structures lost here actually fairly even, interestingly enough, to 20 to 24, but for all the harassment that Bishop did, he never really... Did he ever actually kill a Nexus? I'm not convinced he did, which is a problem. And then resources here. Again, Bisu just went for the Zerg strategy of expanding everywhere. He outmined Bishop by 7,000 gas, 15,000 minerals, and do the math, Falcon. You got this. 13 plus 10, 23 plus... Are you serious? That 31? Is that 31,000 more? I think it is. Good golly, 31,000 more spent. I'm sure somebody does the math better than me in the comments here and will correct it, but yeah, I mean, that was just kind of an out macroing. And again, if the positioning is godlike and your micro is fantastic too, it's just going to look like a slaughter. That's what Bisu is up to. So Good Game Protoss fans gets the win here today, and that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. I'll go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.